give up now, the world would never get to see everything that I can really be, everything that God has made for me, everything exactly what I need. Why my mama sacrificed her life? Why I never take my own advice? How you lose it all and get it twice? Guess I paid the price, cause if I give up now, the world will never get to see everything that I can really be, everything that God has made for me, everything exactly what I need. Why my mama sacrificed her life? Why I never take my own advice? Why you gotta smoke to eat a meal? Claim no fear, but so afraid to feel. Look over the edge and jump with no hands. 2 left feet, my traumas and me. Slow dance, romance with no finance, just a nuisance. Let go dreams, but hold on to your boo hand. Hindsight checkmate, could've made a better move. Yeah. Hands full of bad habits, trying to catch an attitude. Everybody think they better, but we never better ourselves. Always in the mirror, but we never look at ourselves. Everything we eat be killing our health. No, I'm not a preacher, they can't compare to me. I've been on this shit since grandma took care of me. Bear my heart and soul, you bear witness barely. Bear my heart and soul, you bear witness barely. They gon' scroll on Instagram for they narrative, claiming the facts, they opinions embarrassing. Stomach on empty, but they got a full clip. Carry the 2 when they add up they bullshit. Carry my heart on my sleeve in a tank top. Carry my body, I'm dead, but I can't stop. Pray when I die that y'all don't have a service. Y'all know y'all never see me in no churches. Y'all know I gave everything up on purpose. Traps where I got raided, I took all the charges. Niggas fucked hoes in my bed while I'm locked up, like I'ma just flip the mattress regardless. Boy, watch your tone, what you say, beg your pardon. You James, not Jordan, your product don't harden. I've been tired lately, can't you see? But I'm still on my feet, cause if I give up now, the world will never get to see everything that I can really be, everything that God has made for me, everything exactly what I need. Why my mama sacrificed her life? Why I never take my own advice? How you lose it all and get it twice? Guess I paid the price, cause if I give up now, the world will never get to see everything that I can really be, everything that God has made for me, everything exactly what I need. Why my mama sacrificed her life? Why I never take my own advice? Why you gotta smoke to eat a meal? Claim no fear, but so afraid to feel. Yeah, can I hit that real quick? Light it up.
Wow.
Hey, y'all.
We was doing the same thing. That's funny.
Well, Mr. Imperial, I'm gonna let you lead the pussy portal tonight because you seem to know a lot about pussy, so I'm gonna let you.
I don't know a damn thing.
You know what?
Just-
Based on that comment that you said right before we got off the last show, it's very clear that maybe you do need a little bit more education, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it because, yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone and I'm gonna let you handle that.
It's amazing how you gonna start with that when you know I like to dig.
I know you like to dig, but if you're gonna dig in me, boo, I'm gonna need you to dig in me the right way. Okay? If you're gonna be digging in me, Seven, like digging me the way that makes my waters flow. Don't give me a fucking headache with that fucking shit you be doing, okay?
What I do?
Oh, don't act like you don't fucking know. See,
Hold on. Before you go there, I'm really asking because I want to know. So what did I do before we get started?
you know what you said, Seven.
I don't.
You
That's
said
why
that you.
I'm asking.
I'm not even.
This how we start now?
This is really how we're gonna start on Seven?
I can't even share it to my platforms, and y'all over here.
Oh, that's how it started.
Before we got off the call about less than an hour ago, you don't remember the things that were said.
He remembers. This is
There was a lot.
You
There
were
was a lot said.
because I say it for you. How excited you were that you were going to be able to tell us about your experience on the eclipse.
Okay.
Now, would you like to word it yourself how you worded it?
No, not at all.
We misquoted you, and that's not what you said.
No, not at all. So now I would like to know from your perspective, Miss Adisa, what would you like to address about what I said?
You know what I would really like to know, Seven? I would really like to know the rituals that you did on this portal, because you said that you were going to expound on them. Could we hear them? Let's hear about what you did.
Not what you was talking about, though.
Well, we'll talk about that later, but could we expound on what you were saying? I want to hear it, okay? Y'all gonna have to forgive us. We be fighting, y'all.
I mean, and I guess we're not gonna wait till we introduce or nothing. We just hop right in fighting.
You started with a statement that inspired curiosity for me. So I wanted to know. My apologies. Maybe
Okay,
you
well,
shouldn't have
listen,
started
I mean,
like
you
that.
go ahead and answer the question now. We waiting.
But that's not what she was talking about. That's why she just said we're gonna talk about it later. She wasn't talking. Is that what you was talking about? The fact
no,
that
no, love. I'm done. Just go ahead and do what you was gonna do.
okay.
Okay.
So this is going to be sex education, guys, in case you hadn't noticed.
Yes, that's what it's going to be. And it's also going to be about what men need to say to keep women in the mood. It's going to be about that too. And Seven typically does a very good job about keeping women in the mood. But he said some shit right before we got on this call that kind of irritated me a little bit. So
See, and that's what I want to know. See, so Sunshine, it wasn't that. So what did I say that irritated you? I don't like to allow time for things to fester. I like to, we talk about communication often in our classes.
you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to fuck it out, Seven. Because I'm tired of playing these games with you. We're just going to have to fuck that shit out and get it all over with. That's what's going to have to happen. And we're going to figure that shit out in the bedroom and we're going to see who come out on top. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because you like to play games, but I like to play games too. So you're going to play my game. That's what's going to happen because I see how you roll. And not trying to be funny or anything, Seven, but you remind me of one of them men. You one of them men that like, you'll dick a bitch down. And then when you get mad at her, you will deny her the dick.
No more dick.
Is that what you do?
Oh, he confirmed it.
No, that's a famous like little Instagram video. That's what I was quoting. My bad. I thought y'all.
Oh,
No,
so
but that's how you are too.
No,
not necessarily. I have in the past for sure. I have in the past.
Okay,
that hasn't been something that I've done for a while though.
Please,
I'm familiar.
Yeah. So
do you think that's wise to do?
No. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it's wise.
Is it effective?
Yeah. Yeah, it's effective than a motherfucker. That's why she responded how she responded. She gonna listen in.
You motherfucker. I knew you was playing with my motherfucker.
When I say shut up, you gonna shut up.
Seven?
See?
You know what?
See how it went so silent? Niggas was like,
you know what? I'm gonna suck your motherfucking soul out, nigga, because you playing with my fucking feelings. I'm gonna suck your fucking soul out because I'm sick of your shit. I promise you.
I wasn't ready for that.
You gonna spell my goddamn name.
So you're going to see just exactly why I act how I act.
Bring it, dude. Bring it, Seven. Bring it. Okay. Now listen, you didn't get up there and made me act a damn ass on my goddamn platform. Just go ahead and say what you got to say, okay?
Okay,
go ahead.
Well, last night was a momentous occasion, was it not? The astrals aligned in a way that was it was a rare occasion. Doesn't happen too often. There was a full moon, there was a lunar eclipse, and there was also the blood moon transfiguration. That was an occurrence and everything that was happening up there. And there were a lot of things happening on Earth as well. I believe that November is the month of harvest. After Halloween, there are a lot of sacrifices made. We see them in so many things, in the lower centers, which I believe popular culture often plays a part. We see a lot of death. We see a lot of death in popular culture after Halloween. There are many sacrifices and energies put into place, but as the energy centers elevate, we see a lot of life and a lot of love in those instances, and a lot of restructuring in the months of November for those who operate in higher centers. And I'm blessed with a partner, right? And we decided to use this time to meld our energies together and plant a seed in order to begin the birthing process of something new. We are coming into winter. And in my mind, as the man of my household, coming into winter, I'm preparing for spring. I spent the summer preparing for winter, right? So that's a bit of what I did. Now, with the woman's being for all men on this call and for all women who would like to guide their man, the woman's being is the fertile soil from which everything grows. So when you seek to harvest, you must seek to properly plant, properly water, properly allow sun to shine, and the patience to allow things to grow after all of the proper tools have been used effectively. So last night I was beginning the process of planting the seed and watering, and the next steps will be allowing the sun to shine on them. And then after that, I will have to be patient. And I'm very much so looking forward to the results. So I had been prepping my soil for a while. I've been prepping my soil for a while. She probably won't see this call, but what she failed to realize, and what I think men fail to realize, is that a woman's anger is a transmutation tool. If you're going to piss her off with a goal, because they do it to us all the time, right? What does a woman do? She'll piss you off because she wants you to come to pour into her the way that you only do when your emotions reach a certain peak. Am I right or wrong, ladies?
You're right.
Okay.
You're always right, Seven.
Chill out. No, I'm not always right. And that's why I have you guys, because you will definitely tell me when I'm wrong. And I feel as though I'm blessed to exist in a place where being wrong is welcomed. Being wrong is welcomed because it allows you the space to be sharpened in a safe and loving environment. So yeah.
I would
So
like to say
Next
something.
time I'll say you're usually right, Seven.
Ah!
I like that even better.
Hey, I'm gonna see your ass. You too close to me. What? All right, yeah, you keep on.
Listen, Seven's talking about sex magic, you guys, just in case you're unfamiliar with that. And that's something that everybody on this call is very familiar with. Listen, we are energy. We are not just body. We got to get out of this 3D consciousness and think that everything that that we want to manifest, it begins in 3D reality. It does not. It always begins in 5D consciousness. It always begins in spiritual energy. So when it comes to manifesting, for me as a woman, I manifest on the dick. That's what I do. I choose men that have king energy, and then I decide what I want, and then I use their energy to get it. There used to be a time I was very what's the word? When I If I looked at me now, 10 years ago, the woman that I was 10 years ago, I would definitely be judging me big time. I would consider myself, well, she's a little bit promiscuous. She's a whore. She don't know Jesus. I would consider those things. But I have to be honest with you guys. When I discovered the magic of my own vagina, that's when shit got real. That's also when shit got happy. And I'm telling you, there are too many women out in this world that don't understand their own vagina, don't understand their own pussy. But thank God for the women that do. Thank God for the women that do, because I began to understand that this portal is a temple. It's a temple. And you don't allow anybody just to come inside of it. They only need to come inside of it when they're prepared to worship. And you're going to know that they're prepared to worship because your emotions and your spirit are going to say that they prepared you. And in our classroom before, we were talking to men. We had so many beautiful men in our, did we not, Sunshine? They were fucking amazing. And like Omar was just like sexy, 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 right? So what I want to advise you ladies to do is to do like me. Find the masculine energy that makes you feel the most secure. They all gonna fuck up. They always gonna say some dumbass shit that they ain't supposed to say and make you piss you the fuck off. They delayed. That's
fucked up.
Yeah, that's what they do. Listen, even in the scripture says that the bridegroom was late to his own damn wedding because them motherfuckers is slow and they late than a motherfucker. But
probably will be.
Just late than a motherfucker. Okay. But if you can find them, they're worth waiting for. Now we're gonna live our best lives while we waiting for them, right? We're gonna live our best motherfucking lives. But when we do find them, manifesting on them is worth your time. You decide what you want. Because remember, when 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, God will be in the midst of them. And that's what I use sex for. Sex is not an escape for me anymore. Sex is my heaven that I go to get all of my spiritual needs met. But I have to find God's in order to have sex with. And I'm hoping you guys understand that as well. What do you feel about that, Sunshine?
I'm in complete agreement. I think the journey to that is a one that can be paid with pain, right? If I think about the first times that I had experiences with sex, they were not what I would consider magical at all. So the road to gaining that knowledge is sometimes, paid with pain for you to decide, like, where is the right place for me to use this energy? What is the right method for me to use in order to honor myself and the collective with this energy and with this act? And then when you start to just really be practical about the purpose of it, when you get the information about the usefulness of it, and you're doing it more from a place to build yourself rather than to soothe yourself or prove yourself, then you're able to get in a different mindset and be a little bit more selective about who you partake with and what their intentions are and what the outcomes of your decisions will actually be.
I like that. I like that. Because everybody on this call is kind of different when it comes to sexual relationships. Me, myself, personally, I've had traditional relationships all my life. All my life. And like since 17, you guys, marriage again. And I'll be honest with you. Um, yeah, I get bored easy. I do. I like a little fire. I like a little spice. I be complaining about it and shit, but if I don't have no fire, no spice, I'm not happy. I'm not I'm not happy at all. And what I've learned is that I got to choose my own path. And the traditional relationships that a woman has to choose from, they don't really work for me. They don't really work for me. When I got out here to Scottsdale, I met a man named Rob. And Rob had the most beautiful relationship I had ever seen. He was married to his wife and fully committed to her, fully committed to her. But they each had other partners. And not in a, we just want to have our pleasure, but in a, let me give my partner space to grow and evolve in a fashion that she chooses to. And sometimes we don't grow and evolve with the same partner all the time. That was something that I recognized in my own marriage. I recognized that there are some things that other men can bring out of me that just my ex-husband could not bring out of me. That doesn't mean that there is something wrong with him. That's just who I am. I'll be honest. My first relationship, I practiced polygyny. Like, I didn't know I was practicing it because he had some other women on the sideline and he got them pregnant. Then I found out about it later. So I was practicing it without practicing it. But
that's non-ethical monogamy. But
that's non-ethical. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. But what I enjoyed about it, when I found his baby mamas, I went out and I met them. I invited them all over to my home and I made them my sisters. I'm not going to hate them because he did that. I hated his ability to lie. I hated his ability to not be open and honest. But when I had conversations with these women, I found freedom in it. Because when he would get on my nerves, I would be like, take your ass to Janita house. Get the fuck out of my house. And that gave me freedom. And I liked it. Because for me, marriage was a burden. It was a full-time burden. It was a burden. And I know I'm different from a lot of women, but that's my truth. Nobody has to like it, but I love myself. So that's what it is for me. That's what it is. You have any thoughts on that, Mr. Imperial? Because I know men, they are all cool with them having as many multiple partners as they want to, but then when it comes to their women, they're like, we can have them, but you can't. And I'm not saying that I actually want other men. I don't. I'm pretty monogamous. I want just one man at a time, but I'm saying I want the option. I want, because I don't want any man to feel like he owns me. If things ain't going well with us, what you expect me to do? Just sit there and suffer with you? I ain't doing it. How do you feel about
Definitely
that?
do have thoughts about that, but I want to continue to walk these people through how to utilize this portal.
Okay, go ahead. Walk them through.
So it was a long dance, right? I did things in like it's manipulation, but at the end result is for the good. I upset her and then I left town, right? I made sure to stay tethered to her center of energy, but I was very much so detached, and I allowed her to fester these emotions because through anger and resentment we uncover and rediscover so much that when properly communicated is the release that we need. I think that without the proper balance of the release and the pent up nature of energy, the cycle is stifled, right? So in utilizing that, I held that part for about a week, right? And then after that, I came and I gave praise to the temple, and I asked for atonement and forgiveness.
All
And
right, bro.
I laid it out in such a way that I was bare to where now I have triggered in her subconscious a reaction, like you just said. I think a lot of powerful women have this attribute. They will not be out softened. If you're going to open yourself and be transparent and be vulnerable and lay your shit bare, all right, well, cool. I'm gonna do that too. Shit, you got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's exactly how it happened. And we were able to reach a new level of a symbiotic nature in our relationship. But the distance was still there. Now I'm halfway across the world, right? But in my mind, I know that this lunar occasion is coming up. And that's actually when I arrive back home.
Okay.
So I'm building it up. I'm building it up. I'm continuously voicing and verbalizing my longing and yearning for her, not only in a physical stance, but from a mental and emotional place. I'm really letting her know what I'm going through in this moment, remaining present with every step of communication. So there is a slow buildup of energy, anticipation. It's a There's a feeling of welcoming, yet you're so far that the dopamine releases are properly being utilized. One thing I've learned in my recent studies is that we often look at the chemical dopamine in our brain as the reward, right? But that's not the case. The role that dopamine plays is actually the motivating factor for the path to the reward. And when properly utilized, that is how evolution becomes eternal, right? So I get home and we get back and we take high doses of psilocybin. Now, if anyone knows anything about psilocybin, it plays a very unique role in the mind and in the spirit. In the mind, there are new neural pathways that are opened. And in the spirit, the same thing happens, just in a fifth dimensional sense, right? There are pathways that are opened. And if you understand just how connected your body to your mind, to your spirit, with the astral bodies of this third dimensional existence are connected, you understand how to align and properly utilize them. So, coming into a state of union, utilizing psilocybin, right, is it's setting the groundwork for certain things to be expressed, released, and for seeds to be planted, right? So then I use sound therapy a lot. And sound therapy is not only solfeggio frequencies, it's not only the Hertzian um, realms of sound, right? Sound is how vibrations are taken into the brain through the ear canal and processed from the heart. That is true sound therapy. Sometimes we misutilize sound therapy. Therefore, when we take in an overt amount of hip hop and 808s, our energy is vibrated to a center that is not high, right? So what I utilize after beginning this dosage of psilocybin, after a mutual prayer, after we are able to write down in blue or red ink for different purposes, depending on what you're attracting or magnetizing, right? Me and her laid out what I see in you, what I want from you, and what I want to give to you, right? We read them to each other 3 times. You can do it more, but I recommend 3. The first one might be a little awkward, right? Because especially if you're really communicating from the heart and you're being transparent, this might be some shit you've never said before. I don't care if you've been with your partner for 10 years. You are evolving and you will always be new, right? So in each moment, you really want to dig and find the things that you really have to say and express and desire, right? And then the second time, it will become comfortable. You'll find your tone changes. You'll find your delivery changes. Then that third time, you're sure. You're very sure, right? And then what we did was we burnt each other's and we released them into the atmosphere, right? And then after the prayer, after the affirmations, right, now we do a mutual meditation for 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how long our union wants to stay in this state. We did it for about 18, right? And then after 18, man, there
Why 18, 7? Why 18?
that was when we both stopped. We both
Okay.
opened our eyes at the same time, and that was where it happened to stop. And I think where you stop and where you stop will be depending on your perspective and how you view numbers. It will mean something to your union. So then you can utilize your own studies in that area, right? But then after that, there was, and also allow your intuition to lead. Now, when you're planned out and you're organized, it will allow you an area of comfort and stability. But you want to allow your steps to be ordered. You want to allow your spirit to be led from something higher than you. And your connection to that is your intuition. So you want to remain open. I always say in my own creative projects, I want to plan out every step, but I still want to be open to improvisation because I know the Most High will provide. I know there will be things that I cannot see. And if you are coming together in a union, then that union is not based on you two. That union is based on your perspective of what is higher than you both, right? So my intuition had spoke to me in my flight back. I was watching a movie on the plane, and this movie was called Everything Everywhere All at Once. Has anybody seen it?
Mm-mm.
Yo, this shit is the greatest movie I ever seen in my life. Ever. Nah, like ever. I would recommend it to anyone who is on your way or has done the work to solidify your higher perspective. It was
What is it called again?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
everywhere, all at once. I would
Okay.
honestly tell you to also take a dose of psilocybin when you take it because the experience is so different. I'm gonna watch it sober as hell because I rented it. It's a fairly new movie, but man, it was truly a representation of the nature of consciousness. It was so amazing. I don't want to do any spoilers at all, but the movie starts with a family whose relationship is unsymbiotic, just to say the least, right? And the mother is revealed to be the worst version of herself. Her in like 10 minutes into the movie, her husband is like warped into another version of himself. And then when they explain the multiverse in this movie, the version of her husband that becomes present is from the Alpha verse, right? And the Alpha verse was the first multiverse to make contact with the others, right? He comes to warn her that there is a source of energy that has become one with all multiverses. And she is seeking this mother. Doesn't tell her why yet, but he's seeking this mother. She doesn't understand why, but as the movie progresses, it is explained to her that in this lifetime that you have right now, you have neglected yourself of all things. You feel as though you have failed in all things. But what you don't understand is, since you have failed in almost everything and none of your potential has been reached, you have the highest potential of all of yourselves, because all of your other selves have reached something. You have reached nothing. And it was amazing how they used that and elevated this woman's consciousness to the absolute highest point throughout the movie. And it walks you through steps of patience and pain and family and kindness and resonance with the Almighty. And it was just so much. It was so much. But after this wonderful experience, after sharing tears, after stopping the movie and being able to really communicate with each other through things, then our energies had reached a point. And men, when a woman asks this question, you know you've done something right. Because as men, we often try to lead in this sector of the relationship, but what we don't understand is the woman should lead in particular moments, and you have to be able to spot them out and allow her the space to do so. Once our energy had reached a certain place, she was like, "Do you want to go to the bed? Because I don't know, you know." So I was like, "Sure." Right. So as we reached the bedroom, men, this is the moment of decision for you, because you can either allow yourself to be overcome by your carnal nature, and you can pounce on this woman, right? You can begin to express your raw sexuality with you think the dance is over, right? That's a big part of masculine energy. Once you get the woman to this inner sanctum of intimacy and vulnerability, you think the dance is over. You think, oh, okay, cool, kiss, 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 suck, 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 fuck, fuck, fuck. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the case. Now the dance is truly just beginning. Now there is an understanding that must be had of the power that you're about to come in contact with. Because if that is not how you view it, then that is not what will come from it.
Mm.
I want to say that again. If that is not how you view it, that is not what will come from it. You must plant the proper seed. When we talked about women multiplying things, sir, when you give her frustration and bullshit and second guessing, what do you think she's going to multiply? She's going to multiply frustration, second guessing, and she's going to give you her own little version of bullshit. But when you approach the temple with worship, vulnerability, a seeking of atonement, right? A desire for true evolution with each other and from yourself that you have to truly give to her, then you're no longer dancing with two left feet. You're able to really grab her and become symbiotic with the movement, right? So a man spoke on our last call about being intuitively connected with your partner.
Seven. Some people are making comments over here. Do you want to answer some of their questions?
Not yet. I'm gonna get to it in just a second.
Okay.
Now, once you're in the bedroom, you have to follow, hopefully, where your intuition has led you to this point, because now you are not only navigating her mind and spirit, the body is one with this process now. Up until this point, you've been saying small things. You've been doing small things to entertain her subconscious mind and her conscious, melding them into one experience so that the volcanic eruption from the climb up this mountaintop can be what it's supposed to be, right? So once she's laid down, there is a process. And I believe this can work universally with all men if you do it the right way, but with your own individuality, right? You start with small touches. If you know your woman, you know her spots. If you know your woman, you know her spots. My woman has a small spot on her leg. It's her lower leg. It's between her ankle and her knee on her left leg. And there's a certain area right along her shin and her knee, right where her inner thigh kind of starts. And if I touch it just right, it sends a whole fucking chill up her body. I don't know why, just is what it does. Discovered this shit a couple years ago, and I've been poking the button ever since, right? And if you know her spots, don't just go in trying to press, caress. right? Don't press, caress. Pressing is like this, right? That's fingering the pussy, right? Now, there is a time for that once it's built up to that point. But what do you do first? Right? Ladies,
Look how he's doing the camera.
how do y'all feel about that motion? Am I wrong? Am I right?
We
There's
like
a
it.
caressing, and it's not done with the hand, it's done with the tip. Caress every part of her being, every part of her nature with your body, right? And then as you start with your body, you do it with your words. If you know your woman, you know her soft spots. You know where she might be insecure. You know where her most internal pain may lie. Speak to that first. Speak to the beauty that you see in her, that you see she has a hard time seeing within herself. Speak to the parts of her being that she's having a hard time drawing on, right? Maybe she's having a hard time chasing this dream that she sees for herself. Maybe she has a hard time expressing anger. Maybe she's having a hard time with her family, right? And maybe some people are often putting all their problems on her, and she's having a hard time leading them properly and being the woman she feels like she knows she is. There's a variety of problems, but speak to them with healing and with love, right? It's so many ways to do this, but I want to keep walking you guys through the process because I know we're on a limited amount of time, right? But after you
Supposed to
caress,
be 15 minutes, 7. It's 36.
this
We got
whole thing
time.
is supposed to be 15
We got
minutes.
time. Go
We got
ahead.
time? Okay.
Continue, 7.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So after you're caressing her body and her mind, right, those things culminate into her spirit because you've been leading up to this. You've been leading up to this. What I want you to know is, yes, the spirit affects all, but it's amazing what you can do with a woman when you work backwards. It's amazing
What do you mean when you say work backwards, 7?
Start from the body. Start from the body with the intention to affect the spirit, right? That way, the alpha and omega meet in the middle and it rises up and explodes. And what does it do when it explodes? It comes right back and it starts again. But we ain't going to get too deep. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep on going right along this process. So after she's been caressed, her body and her mind will come out of her mouth and she will let you know when she's ready to move on to the next process. Now comes the second stage of worship. You must use your mouth in a physical way. Use your mouth. Attack her nervous system. Caress and nurture her nervous system with your mouth. Every inch of it. Now, depending on your woman, she might like it to be a little wetter or drier, but that's up to you guys to communicate, right? But you've caressed with your hands and your words. Now you use your mouth, right? And you travel, like I spoke about on the call earlier. If you were there, if you had the pleasure of being there, you travel, you learn to navigate this woman, right? You go back and forth between a little rough and really soft, and then a little more rough and then even more soft, right? And then once you work into really strong, not too rough, but really strong and secure in a protective, nurturing, caressing with your mouth, now you move to her most sacred area, right? And when you move to her most sacred area, which is her pussy, right? Now you're able to hopefully, and I pray this upon you, and I think if you've made it far in this process, it won't be a problem for you, males. But now you have to truly use your intuition to navigate this portal, right? And you haven't made it inside yet, but you have to prime the entrance, because if what you want to be birthed, if you want it to be sizable, then the entrance must expand, right? It's tight by nature. That motherfucker's closed up. Ain't nothing supposed to get in there unless it's worthy, right? So you have to show that you're worthy with your actions. You've used your hands and you've used your words, but now you must use the most submissive part of you. You must place yourself on your knees and place yourself in a compromising position to worship this temple and follow the instructions that she will give you. Some will be verbal, most will be nonverbal. Most will be nonverbal, right? Follow those instructions. And she should reach an eruption before you take your mouth off of her. I'm going to say this again. She should reach an eruption before you take your mouth off of her and move to the next step of this process, right? And after you are able to guide her to an eruption, right? I'm going to backtrack a little bit, because before you even begin this worship, you speak more, right? And before, I was speaking mainly while looking into her eyes, right? The eyes are the windows of the soul, right? I travel her body, and when I come up, I look into her eyes and I speak to her. Then I speak to her as I move, and then I move up and I speak to you more. But when I come down to your portal, in between each act of worship, I'm speaking all of my love and desire into you. Now I'm speaking into what I plan to birth from, to, and with you. I'm speaking it all into you. I'm pouring everything that I have into what I plan as the man in this union for us to birth. This is the seed that I want you to cultivate. This is what I want you to fertilize. This is what I want to dig deep within you, and what I want to be rooted inside of your being, right? So that we can birth this. And you speak that into this portal as you worship it. Right. And once you are able to use your skills, hopefully that you have, to bring her to this eruption after this worship with your mouth. Right. I hope you smooth enough to make it a smooth transition, because it shouldn't take long. It shouldn't take long. You got to get good at this. You got to get good at this, males. Like it should be a removal of you and insertion of you. It should be a smooth circle. It should almost bewilder her how it has transitioned so smoothly. And you'll see it on her face and feel it in her whole being. Right now, don't make it fast. It doesn't have to be fast, but it should be smooth, is what I'm saying. Right. And when you begin to enter, continue to speak. Continue to speak, and make sure you're continuing to use your hands. I think a lot of times in men, we lose sight once we enter the portal. And it's very easy to do. It's very, very, very easy to do, to lose sight once you come in there, because it's the ultimate darkness. You have to see an entirely different form of light and color. This is when you'll truly see that color is present even in darkness, even in the absence of light. There are even more colors in darkness than light could ever give you. Right. And as you begin to enter and find your rhythm, you continue to speak. You continue to plant these seeds. Never stop. Never stop. Even if the seeds that you're planting are simply moans and groans of expressions of pleasure from you, that does wonders for her security as a goddess. It does wonders for you to speak and express those vulnerable affirmations into her canal. You guys don't understand how directly connected the ear canal is to the brain. You can't really get no closer with your voice, right? When you're in missionary and you're coming from the front and you're directly in her ear, you lower your voice to the deepest resonance that you can. All males aren't blessed with an extremely deep voice, and I get it, right? But you want to allow yourself to become low yet stern. Don't whisper. Don't whisper. This is not the time for you to whisper. This is the time for you to speak. And I want to say that because there's a humongous difference between talking and speaking. You don't just talk to this woman. You don't talk worship. Talking, man, what they say, money talk, bullshit walk. You know what I'm saying? And in this instance, I want to say speech will walk. Bullshit is all that talking that we do, right? Men, we know. We do a lot of talking. We can do a lot of talking before we actually find it in ourselves to speak a truth to our women, right? And I want you to speak to her while you're continuing to use your hands to caress every part of her body. Now, this is where stretching comes in, males. You need to stretch. Your hips and your thighs and your legs cannot be super tense, because if you want to be able to properly navigate her while you stroke, you need to be able to massage her feet while you stroking.
Wait, hold up, Devin. Hold up. Would you said massage her feet? How
Yes,
the fuck? I'm trying to picture this in my head, Seven, and I'm having difficulty. Are you seeing it, Sunshine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you massaging her feet while you stroking it?
With the-
Oh, I got it. Sorry, I got it.
So
Okay, I'm
much.
good. I
It's
got it.
so much. But
I
yeah,
got
but and even then, I'm only speaking on some of the most extreme ranges of motion, right? That is necessary in order, because this portal is only the center. It's all connected to it. Her feet, the back of her neck, which is sensitive points, her back, her ass, her inner thighs, her neck, this part of her earlobes, her third eye. These are all places that you need to caress and speak to while keeping your rhythm and stroking her portal, right? And then after you are able to do all of these things, the eruption will be of a completely different nature than normal, right? And then in my own process, that's when I like to transition positions. Right now, I've helped you reach one with my mouth, and now I've been in front of you and given to you this way. Now we can have fun. Now we can get crazy. We can try out a few things. And last night I definitely tried a few things, and I've never seen a woman cry so hard. I've never seen her cry so hard, so full. Like, I had to run and get a towel because it was like, I was like, oh my God, baby, okay. But it was truly a release. There was so much pain, intention, and trauma released, and there was so much love cultivated. When a woman is in a place to receive, y'all have no idea how much she can give. When you get her in this place to receive all of you, and she actually receives it and gives it and erupts, man, she's in a completely different state now, right? But that's not the end. That's not the end, because now that the energy is in a certain place, it's been released. Now you guys have shifted frequencies, right? So I gave her a small massage and we went to bed, right? When she awoke, which I awoke before her, now is the part where you bring this spiritual culmination and interaction back down into the physical, because that's where you want to manifest, right? You want some money. You want success for your family. You want to be able to walk in your purpose, and for your energy to be seen and recognized so that it can be given the way that it's supposed to be properly given and received in this human reality, right? So now you got to find a way to what's the word I'm looking for? It's not cultivate. It's not cultivate at all, but that's as close as I can get right now. No. It's a motion. I said it earlier, but it's okay. But it's a motion that planters do when they're getting the soil right. They take 2 shovels and they get the soil right, right? After it's already ready.
Sculpting?
Is it
Maybe.
teal?
I like sculpting. I like
Okay.
sculpting because my woman, she partakes in cannabis, but not as so often as when she's working hard. But when she's resting, she does a lot. And she likes a little coffee in the morning, right? So what I did was I got everything ready. I've never made coffee in life, ever. And I fucked up making it. And the smell of the coffee is what awoke her and brought her to the kitchen, right? Now, I knew I would fuck up, and I chose not to look up how to make the coffee. Men, I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. You don't got to be perfect, bro. You should actually be imperfect on purpose, because you showing that through your vulnerability and transparency. Bro, y'all don't know what it does for her. Y'all don't know what it does. She loves to see you fuck up trying to make her happy. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's one of the most fulfilling experiences. Like, it's the cutest you can be, bro. And when she came in and she was able to see that, right? She don't know, but this is all a plan, girl. I got you on a wheel right now. You think this is just little happenings. No, I know you. I'm able to craft an experience for you to where I can get you to the point to where I know you can go, right? So I bring her in. She has a coffee. I roll her one. I run her a bath, right? And this, gentleman, is where I want you to also utilize, man, how much water is one of the most powerful mediums of creation that we have on planet Earth. Water has memory.
Mm-hmm.
Let's I'm going to explain this in a very elementary form. I don't want to get too deep, but water has memory, right? And 80% of your physical being is water. So when you want to manifest something in your third dimensional reality, one of the most fluid and powerful sources and mediums you can utilize is water. Now, when your woman has been primed and cultivated, and now she's existing completely within this frequency, you place her in water, right? And me, I have a few sacred oils that have been blessed and created from a witch that I know, and they have all types of purposes, right? The ones that I use today, in the water were blue money, sex magic, and cash flow, right? So used a couple drops of that. I had the proper incense around because the way you appeal to your woman's senses, right? In all senses, especially her smell too, right? Don't forget nothing, sight, touch, hearing, everything applies. And y'all asked me to talk about this shit, so I'm laying it out, right? Like,
They say that you're a warlock, Seven. I'm seeing the comments and they're saying, yeah, he's a warlock. Keep going.
I ain't even, you know what? I ain't gonna reveal my secret because I ain't tell you everything.
Oh, you don't want, they already know you're a warlock.
Yeah, there was a whole salt circle last night in true alchemy that was performed, but I believe that's for a whole nother class, right? Like,
that's the master class. We just,
you know, you got to pay for that because that gets real. That's the reason why my phone was ringing today with different things, and a lot of things happen instantly, right? But when you're utilizing this water therapy, you might not have oils, right? It's okay. The water and the energy that you've cultivated with your woman is enough, right? I bathed her, right? Oh, so sorry. I drank my water so fast earlier. I bathed her. And there is a true energy that is communicated and transferred through bathing someone else, not being in the water with them. Truly just give, bro. I'm talking to the men. Just give. Don't give from a place of hoping to receive, because that's what we do often. I'm finna fuck the shit out you and it's not gonna be good and you're gonna be crazy about me, right? No. Give from the place of I'm giving to you because I see you, I recognize you, and I recognize the highest form of me within you. And that's what I want to give to. Now, if I receive something back, hey, all the more better. But that's not where I'm going to give from, right? And you bathe and you massage slowly. I bring her out, then I massage her with other sacred oils. The other sacred oils that I massaged her with, one was named Love Spell, one was named Voodoo Pussy, one was named Come to Me, and then the last one, which one is just one of the most powerful one, is actually named Sex Magic. I use each one individually and I massaged her entire body from the front to the back. And I repeated the entire process last night. After another cultivation process this morning, you repeat that exact same process this morning, right? And I'll stop there because I'm at about 53 minutes, and I don't want to just overdo it. But that is a small, just brief walkthrough of steps that we can get creative with on our own, right? Like you can take this and apply it to any time in your relationship. It doesn't have to be a full moon. It doesn't have to be an eclipse. This could be what you do on date night. This could be something you do once a week, twice a month, just to keep this energy right, keeping this relationship in the symbiotic nature that serves its highest purpose. And as my sisters say, I feel complete.
Me too. I'm pretty sure my chair is soaking wet. So is there anything you would like to add, Adisa, before we get out here so I can wash myself?
It's okay. You know what? Seven has this way of making me not mad at him no more. So
that's what he said in the beginning.
That is what he said. So I'm not mad no more. I'm not mad no more. The fact that you're able to deliver that kind of pleasure to any of my sisters, that's actually what makes me love men. Like, I know it sounds weird, but I'm a weird woman like that. Like, any man that can deliver that kind of pleasure to any woman and worship her like that, that dude is fine with me. He's absolutely fine. I do have one question for you, Seven, that does bug me. You said that you knew that you had angered her. You felt the intuitive entanglement with her while you were on the plane, and you left knowing that. And then when you came back, you made up for it. You did atone, and then she collapses into all of these tears, and because we've all been there. I have been there too. And while it does make the sex memorable, I'm just wondering, like, because I do know some men that live off bringing a woman on that emotional roller coaster, and then just so they can have that experience. And I'm not for sure if that's healthy. Not saying that you did that, but I do know men that bring a woman to that emotional plateau, let her
Absolutely.
fall to have great sex and do it again. And I like, help me to understand that a little bit. And then we got to get off this call.
Absolutely. Um, I believe that your intention has a lot to do with it because, like I said, you must play to your intuition. This won't always be the process, right? This isn't cookie cutter. It's not,
Mhm.
all right, the same thing every time. But for the place where my relationship was in the present moment, it was necessary and it served its purpose. But it's not always utilized. And I think that when you get into a pattern of utilizing such techniques, then it becomes extremely unhealthy and imbalanced. But just like I said, when women utilize that, they know what they're doing, right? And it's often well placed. And I agree with you though. It can definitely be misutilized and performed in an imbalanced way. But
Yeah.
it was a very singular occasion and only used when necessary. I don't seek to cause the woman that I'm involved with pain, but I also do know how to properly utilize that to cultivate what we both need from each other.
Okay. I absolutely like that. Um, yeah, I'm not mad no more. Okay, I'm good now.
We can't leave them. They had comments and questions, and I
Oh
can't.
yeah. So let me pull some of this stuff up. Okay, that was amazing, Seven. Thank you for sharing this. This is wow. I want to learn more of this. I don't know who that is because they're not.
Josh.
That's
Joshi.
Josh. Oh, that's Joshy. Okay. Then we have that was powerful as fuck. That doesn't sound like Joshy. I don't know who
That was
that is.
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis. Okay. Then we have that's the VIP class. Um, and that's the moment of the warlockery.
Lockery.
I don't know who that is, but is that Tanisha?
That's
Is
Chrysalis.
yes, she understands war. Yes, warlockery, absolutely. My grandmama told me don't look into their eyes because then they gonna cast their fucking spells. Okay. Then we have Elizabeth Caesar here. She says sounds truly sacred. I asked the people to press 111 if they were feeling you. We got a couple of those. That's beautiful, Seven. They wanted you to continue. Here are more people saying that's beautiful. Let's keep going up. Intention is everything. I don't know who these people are. So you guys are gonna have to. I seen
There
who
weren't
got
any questions, but if anyone has any questions, you got a couple minutes. We can make it the full hour since we've been on here to throw
Yeah.
something up if you got a question.
I
yeah,
definitely
let's do
want.
that.
But we'll be also be back next Thursday at the same time,
Same time,
same place.
same time. I thought we was gonna do this for 15 minutes. How did we make
Did
an
I say
hour?
Thursday? It's Wednesday. I don't even know what the day is anymore. I
Yeah,
went into the portal that Seven took us into, and I'm just a little discombobulated. I told you, I'm worried about my chair.
you a mess. You a mess.
I
But
think it
listen,
might be 15 minutes other weeks, but it was a special time. And
it
and if you
was.
want this class, I hope that you were able to receive and take in things that you'll be able to utilize for yourself. And the other classes probably won't be as long, but I think the first one, it deserved this.
The name
I
of the movie was Everything Everywhere All the Time. What was it?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
All at
all at
once.
once. Okay, I fucked that up too.
That's Rochelle wanted to know.
I think that you should do this again, but I would really like you to break it down in 15-minute segments so we can turn it into a course. Like if you could do
Most
that,
definitely. I can do
that
it.
would be what we really want to do. Make sense?
You may need to take this down and make this a course. I will pay good money for this.
Well, okay. Well, let's talk about it.
I mean, who seen it, but who ain't.
But this is what 7 was supposed to teach. I'm hoping that this is what you were supposed to be teaching in the semen retention class.
Yeah, because I didn't come not one time.
What? Hold up.
I think we should end it right there.
Okay, we're gonna end it, but we're gonna stay on because we got some more stuff that we need to talk about. Okay. Listen, we absolutely love you guys. We're gonna bid you adieu, and we'll see you next Thursday night at 9. Bye, you guys.
Wednesday
Adios.
night. We both said, see, both of us got in there. Can you bring us back to today then, at least?
God damn it. Okay, it's Wednesday. I see you. Okay, bye, you guys. Talk to you soon. Let's end this.